All right, it's now 27 minutes after 8 and it's time for Your Health. And joining me in studio, we have Fred Mutua and Valerie Wanjala joining us. And basically, we're going to be talking about lower back pain. Listen, the reason why I feel this is important is because the kind of lifestyles that we have today are very different. We spend a lot of time sitting and sometimes sitting in the wrong posture. Sometimes we are walking, and now that we are not going, we're going to have streets that are going to be blocked off in Nairobi, the CBD. Walking might become something that we do. Is there a right style of walking? Is there a wrong style of walking? We're going to find out this morning on lower back pain. Remember, you're welcome to participate in this conversation from wherever you are via social media. So I'll start with you, Fred. Yes. And lower back pain. I know we have a chart here. Maybe we can just get straight into the chart in the interest of time. If you can just step forward a little bit. And you have causes of back pain. You can take me through this.
Okay, my name is Fred. I'm a physiotherapist and a fascia therapist specialized. And as you know, lower back pain is a painful condition specifically on the lower back or the lumbar region on the back. So we have different causes. As you can see here, we have the first one, the degenerated disc. And this kind of degeneration usually comes with age. Okay. So people mostly after 50 years, or people after they've reached 50 years, so they start having this kind of degeneration. Okay. And this is something, is this something that you can avoid maybe through diet? Okay. Yes, you can you can avoid, but sometimes like it's usually due to like age. Okay, it's just age related. Okay. Age related kind of dysfunction. Then this kind of degeneration can, when it occurs on the vertebrae here, can compress the intervertebral disc here, which can compress also the spinal nerve roots, which can bring out the pain. Okay. Yes. And how does, when you have a degenerated disc, how does the pain begin? What is it, a specific kind of pain? And where do you feel the pain? Okay, so this pain can start like a dull pain, and it can be constant, even to be like a sharp, sudden kind of pain. Okay. So it might start with like very, very, very dull. So you don't have to like wait until the pain is like at its peak. So that you take before action. You get some specialist attention. All right, that's the degenerated disc. We have also facet syndrome. So we have also facet syndrome. So we have facets here, and these facets can change like in position where they are positioned. So these kind of facets, when they change on how they are placed, they can pinch on the nerves. Okay. And that can bring a bit of... What causes the facet syndrome? Sometimes it can be like a congenital issue, again, work-related, or you are hit by something. So this can move the facets. Can be caused by trauma? Yeah, trauma mostly. Then spondylolisthesis. So spondylolisthesis I'll not even try and pronounce that, but there you go. Okay, so spondylolisthesis is when the vertebral discs move away from the alignment. So this kind of movement can compress still on the nerves, because they are the one which provoke the pain now to come up. Yeah, so we have different stages, but it's like a matter of like the disc moving slightly forward. Or, is that again caused by trauma? Or? Mostly it's trauma. Sometimes it can be like a repetitive use, poor lifting habits. It will depend. Okay. Yeah. All right. We move on now to transitional vertebra. So transitional vertebra is, as you can see here, is different from this side. So the vertebra, it can transition, or it can move in a certain direction, like this one, and it can pinch on, or can have like a contact with another bone, and this can bring wear and tear, which can bring the friction, which now provokes the pain later. Yeah. Then subluxation. So we can relate this one to also like spondylolisthesis, but this is like in a not as much as this one.
In terms of what, the pain?
In terms of like sleeping.
Okay.
Or like.
Okay, it slips, but not as much.
Not as much as this one. So subluxation is like the ligaments, if they are not strong, the tendons, if are not strong to hold the vertebrae in position, can bring this kind of subluxation of the vertebrae, because it is being held by the ligaments.
All right.
Then stenosis here. So stenosis is like the narrowing of the spinal cord. So this narrowing can also pinch on the nerves, and this can bring now the pain on your back still. Then tropism is like the last vertebrae on the lumbar spine. Mostly this is more like a congenital issue. So this one, as you can see, the vertebrae, how it is locked to the sacrum. Okay. So this one still can move or can bring this kind of compression. Okay. So mostly here is a matter of like compression on the nerve, which now can bring now the pain. Okay. So I guess these are some of the main causes of lower back pain. Yes. But let me bring in Valerie here. And Valerie, before we get into this contraption and this gadget, our lifestyle. What role does it play when it comes to our lower back pain? And when I talk about lifestyle, I mean, especially we in the urban settings spend a lot of time seated, whether it's in a matatu, in a vehicle, at our places of work. What role does that have to our lower back pain? I will start by saying a really big role. Sedentary lifestyle will mean that will increase obesity. You know, if you're constantly sitting, constantly not moving around, you're causing some tension on the muscles that are holding the back, right? So the muscles entail movement, that they should sleep against each other for you to bend or to do what. Now imagine in a lifestyle where you constantly are sitting, from your car to work, to home, to then sleeping. Now you're causing a lot of tension on your back. That in turn causes muscle spasms. This is a sudden contraction of the back, yeah? And it hurts the nerves there, and hence the pain. So our lifestyle should change. I'm not saying that you should not sit. Yeah? You can sit, now you're right now you're standing. That is a change. In every hour or two, just take a small walk out, just come back or to the loo, anywhere you have to, so that you keep on moving. Don't forget to also exercises. I'm not saying lifting or heavy lifting, just saying cardio, running, just a short jog in the evening or in the morning will do a great deal for you. Okay. What about those who possibly already have lower back pain? And this is a question to either of you can take it. But those who already maybe are suffering lower back pain, what do they need to do as a matter of having it addressed? I'll start by saying seek medical opinion. Then after, like when you come to see us, we of course have to check what is causing your back pain, right? After that, we'll prescribe a home program, something that you would do so that if in case you are in pain at home, you can easily relieve pain. Something like foam rolling, stretches, and changes in your posture. How we use our phone, how you use your laptop, how you slouch while sitting, all this has to change to enhance. Okay, and an interesting aspect you bring there is the phone, because I think that's another area where we have very major problems. Yes. I believe there's even a disease, not a disease, but a condition. I forget what it's called, where you basically are on your phone too much and you also bend the way you sit. Maybe you could talk to us about that and how we can improve and ensure that we are not caught up in that same challenge. Okay, so on that part, we see many people like when they are like on their phones, so they are slouched on this, or they are bent on this position. So this position will fall or will pull on the back too. So any strain on here, so this one will start like a stiffness, and that can transit even to the lower back. And we need to be in like a upright position, not like bending too much. Not slouching too much.
So is there a proper way to use your phone? I mean, is there a proper way to hold that phone to ensure that you're not putting yourself at risk?
Yes, there is a proper way. Do you have your phone close to you?
I don't know where my phone has gone.
Okay, so
I'll just step out here slightly. Yes, here we have it.
Let me have it, please. This is how we use our phone, right?
Yes.
But
naturally.
That's not natural, but that's how we choose to. Okay, so our phone should be placed here. The neck should not have to bend. This, I know people will be like, somebody will be reading my text, but this is the right position. Okay? So that when you're texting, you're doing whatever you do, your phone is right in front of your face.
Okay, so not this way.
Not this way.
Okay, what about the use of computers? Because again, that's another area where we use a lot. So how am I supposed to sit, and what kind of chair am I supposed to use?
So you can be recommended good ergonomic, like you can apply good ergonomics, like sitting like upright, not slouching too much, not leaning too much, a bit front, so that still will hurt your back. Or you can use a stand-up desk generally, or sometimes. And again, try to walk around still. Like in any hour, you can move around just to stretch your back.
Okay, just to stretch your back. Yeah. All right, I see we have a contraption here, and I was expecting Joy, the director, to be here by now so that we can use her as the dummy. But for some reason, she has not come down. So maybe we'll just work with you, Fred. And Valerie, you can explain to us what this is and what it does.
Okay, as Fred prepares, this is called a 3D or a 3D body view. It views your body in 3D. It is in relation that your foot can actually be the cause of your back, your footwear, how you're stepping, how you're running, generally, anything that you use your foot on is the cause of your back. Now, this machine will help us identify exactly what is wrong.
Okay, and we can have Fred maybe get onto the machine.
Okay, so Fred will put his right foot on the clear surface. Just step up. So the machine itself is non-invasive, meaning it's not an X-ray ray or an MRI ray, okay?
Okay.
So it's basically a laser and a heat light.
Okay.
So it's actually very safe.
I see it's actually scanning his foot as we are waiting. And when it's scanning, what are the details? What information is it picking?
It's picking, just a minute, change your feet now. It's picking your weight distribution as you stand, your balance, and your posture as a whole.
Because those matter.
Yes, or posture from the feet to the head.
Okay.
Place your left foot on the clear surface and then go up.
Again, it scans the left foot. And while we're at that, you've mentioned that how we run, how we walk, could also be injurious to our back. And specifically, maybe let's take a visit to the gym. There you are thinking that you're exercising and benefiting yourself, but you could be hurting yourself. Are there specific shoes that somebody needs to use?
Exactly. Not every foot or what would I say, sportwear is recommended to run with. The sole inside should actually be soft. Okay, and there's also, if it's hard, there's inner sole that we can place so that you don't have to hurt your leg every time you're stepping down. Okay. Okay, so the scan is through, and I'm just going to just brief you on what you see.
Hopefully, we're able to see that from home. Yeah, go on.
Okay, so this is how we should distribute our weight on our feet. The red areas
is the weight
the maximum weight. Okay. The green is the moderate, blue is no weight. So that there is that space in between our mid side of the feet, right? When you're standing. Arch? Yes, it's called an arch. That is represented by the blue. Okay. That is perfection. Okay?
So ideally, this is the perfect weight distribution. This diagram is showing us the perfect weight distribution.
The perfect weight distribution. Okay. On the other side, on the right side in this case, you can see how Fred is distributing his weight. That it's more, the maximum weight is more outside. And you can see the blue spot or the arch is less. That is what we call pronation, meaning you are rotating your foot to the inside. Okay, you've seen people's footwear that are curved. That's exactly what peaks here. So I'm just going to move on. and show you that that pronation, that change of foot at the bottom of your sole can give you all this. Here is a balanced posture, so that, Mike, when you're standing, we see you all up straight.
Correct.
But maybe your foot you're too much pronating to the inside. That pronation causes a rotation at your knee. The rotation in turn causes a pelvic tilt on your pelvis. So you cannot do this. Okay, when you do this, the body automatically compensates. So that when this is too short, this shoulder drops. So that when you're seeing you reading the news, we see an upright structure, but in real sense, it's just a matter of compensation. Okay. So it's actually very hard to see and say, you have a foot problem. That's why we need the
that's why we need the machine.
Yeah, but if you do, you'll actually see the change in shoulder height. So you can see that in this case, there is a difference in weight, so that the right side of Fred's body is weighing less than the right.
Than the right.
Than the left, sorry. So this means she's just doing that. Okay, that the left has more weight and avoiding the right.
Okay. Now, in a case where there is pronation, as you've called it, how does one rectify?
So pronation can be rectified in many ways. Sometimes it's just tissue tension. So we do a treatment that is called fascia manipulation, releasing the tissue itself, so that the rotation that is caused by severe tension is rectified. And the other way,
you can use like orthotics or the inner soles, so that you can bring yourself into balance.
Okay, and those are soles that you buy?
Yeah, you buy.
Okay. But I'm assuming they're probably soles that are recommended from specific places, or do you just buy, because there are food stores that you can go to and they have inner soles. Do you just buy any sole?
So this machine, you can see here like orthotics required. So from the scan, it means you really need orthotics.
Okay.
In other cases, like when the foot is like really flat, it will say like orthotics vital. You really need them like right away.
Okay. And I've also seen people who have what we call a flat foot.
Yes.
So you don't have the arch as high as others who have a very high arch. Do they also maybe need to have that rectified in a way?
Okay, flat feet cannot exactly be rectified. If you had a sample of the orthotic, you'll realize it has a bump. I'll give you an example. When children are raised, we put them in flat shoes, that the shoes are automatically flat. And sometimes the foot forms in that angle, so that it does not have an arch as much as olden days would have. So we'll just place an orthotic inside that sole of the feet. And orthotic it's an inner sole, so it can easily be swapped in different shoes. So we can't rectify the flat feet, but we can automatically, with the arch, cause rectification.
All right, another area I'm sure would be of interest is the area of heels and how heels affect your back.
Okay, so the heels. So there is how we walk. And when you wear heels, they usually change how you step. So that's kind of like high, or like the heels, they put you in a high surface, so they can strain even the upper body structures. So whenever your foot or your balance is altered, definitely the upper body structures will start complaining.
Okay, so are there heels that maybe are recommended, or should ladies, especially because they're the ones who wear heels, do away with heels for the sake of your back?
Not really. So they should not like do away with the heels, but not all the time. Give yourself like a break. Yes.
Okay, and the break here is, if for instance one is a professional and their job requires them to have heels 5 days a week, what are we talking about a break? Is a break equivalent to when you get home, wear flat shoes and then the next day you're ready, or what kind of a break are we talking about here?
Okay, so like you can't wear just high heels like throughout the week. Yet you can manage, but you'll start complaining of maybe some back pains, neck pains later on. But just find a way, like in a day, or you can wear flat shoes, which can rest.
Okay, and I guess there are some I've seen in the office who will come in heels, but once they get to the office, those heels disappear temporarily.
Yeah. And there are orthotics meant for high heels, that they have not excluded the people that compulsory made to wear high heels because of what they do. So the orthotics are there for high heels. So they reduce the tension you're putting on that small surface you're stepping on.
All right. Now, we are out of time, so I'll give you 30 seconds each to just give us your closing comments and possibly advice for us to have a healthy back. I'll start with you, Fred.
Okay. So to avoid these back pains, make sure you maintain exercise or you are physically fit, and more so on exercises. I think nobody really likes exercise every day, but try to exercise and you see you are, and even apply good lifting techniques which won't strain the back.
Okay.
And watch on your posture.
Valerie?
So I'll finish by saying back pain is a biomechanical structure problem. So take care of your structural issues, massages, go stretches, and the little things we do, the texting, the sitting, the posture we portray in our lives here, that is what I would recommend to change before it gets to, you know, the bones. Let's deal with the tissue before it becomes very severe.
All right. Thank you very much, Valerie Wanjala. Is it Wanjala or Wanjala?
It's Wanjala.
Wanjala. And Fred Mutua for joining us this morning just to get us some info on how to take care of your back. I'll just